All of the high cultures and low cultures and primitive cultures and charming, simple cultures, great, big, enormous ones, have grown out of myths. They are founded on myths. And what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration. Now, where do these aspirations come from? They come from a very wonderful, childlike thing, fascination. You know, if you wanted to make money today, I'm no economist, but I'll bet the thing to do would be to invest your money in something like cameras, things that people play with, things that they're fascinated by. These fascinations are the creations of new activities. And when we look at the old cultures, we can see all cultures have grown out of myth. All cultures, they are founded on myth. And what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration. And some of it is very strange to see indeed. What is most fascinating to begin with is one's neighbor, particularly if the neighbor is a very strange-looking creature. Now think of man in the old days. He was a minority on the planet. And when he looked at his neighbors, they had 4 feet, they had horns, they had great woolly bodies. They were very strange playmates. Furthermore, he was eating certain of them, and they were rather dangerous. He had to arrange some kind of arrangement with his neighbor. And we know that the first religious rites and the first religious address, so to say, was to animals, their neighbors. These were the images of God. All cultures have grown out of myth. All cultures, they are founded on myth. And what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration. The animal world was the first inspiration. And the divinities were animal divinities. And not only that, but just as kids, when they identify with something, when they are fascinated by something, they act like it, they play it. So the original rituals, the hunting people danced buffalo dance. They were in covenant with the animal world. That through this covenant, the animals gave their bodies willingly to be eaten. Because only the body dies, the being comes back. If you return the blood of the animal to the earth, the life is in the blood. The earth is the mother of life, and the animal will be back next year. All cultures have grown out of myth. All cultures, they are founded on myth. And what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration. People who lived then in the plant world, the world of the tropics, where nature was a plant world, they saw something else. They saw that out of rot, out of decay, there comes life. There comes life. And this notion that out of death comes life becomes a very important thing in the tropical cultures. And it led to what is a very powerful pattern of rituals. Rituals of human sacrifice, killing people, letting them rot, burying them, with the notion that out of this death there will come life. All cultures have grown out of myth. All cultures, they are founded on myth, and what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration. All cultures have grown out of myth. All cultures, they are founded on myth, and what these myths have given has been inspiration for aspiration.
What is up, bro? How are you? Am I coming through? Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing all right. Pretty good.
It's been a little while.
It has, man.
How's things back at work?
It's had peaks and valleys to it, man. I went in real strong, probably a little too strong, coming right back out of being sick. I maintained for about a month and then just crashed real hard. Ended up being just shy of useless for about 3 weeks. Just barely able to do the bare minimum to keep from losing my job. But these last 2 weeks have been I just felt super powerful, man. I've started getting up at 4 a.m. Stopped making excuses of hitting that snooze alarm, and as soon as my alarm goes off, I'm getting up and I'm using that time to sit in silence for a moment, start my day with a purpose and intention, and go right into a solid routine. I've started finding it more natural to breathe deeply throughout my day, which is helping a lot with getting not getting winded at work, for the physical side of the job, and also just maintaining sort of a mental clarity throughout the day, because I was getting overworked and found it hard to just focus on anything other than just breathing at that moment, just because I was hyperventilating almost. But since I've been, breathing
are you still dealing
deeper,
with some after effects from when you had COVID, or is that why you're?
Yeah, my doctor says it could be another 18 months before my lungs have got back to before I got sick. But man, I'm doing a lot better. These last 2 weeks have been awesome. I've started, like I messaged you, where it was in the phalanx group, right? About my 2-a-day journal sessions, where I'm doing one in the morning and doing one in the evenings.
I don't think I saw that.
Man, I've been doing that, and I like it a lot. I've never been much for the pen and paper guy, but with money being what it is right now for me, that I had the couple dollars to throw at a notebook, so that's what I've been doing to sort of process mentally, the nonsense that I got going on in my head.
Cool.
And,
are you using the stack process? Like, I posted a bunch of the questions in our group. Have you been using those, or are you just kind of doing your own free form, or?
It comes and goes, man. Some days I just feel, a little free form, I got a story in my head that I want to just get out and, put it on the paper. And then, other days I'm really into the stack format, right? What's got me on edge, or, why am I happy, and working through the process that way.
Yeah. Nice. Well, good, man. Yeah, I'm glad to hear things are on the up again. I think I've had a little bit of a roller coaster this last 6 weeks or so. I've just been swamped. Sorry. This morning, I don't know what the hell's going on, but there you go. You hear the ambulance? There's early this morning, 5 a.m. There's 3 little puppies like right out front of our house, like under my car, I guess, and the car's right on the main road, so that we had little like newborn puppies that nobody knows where they came from sitting out on the roadside this morning. And then an hour or two later, there's some crazy man out front of my house, like yelling and losing his marbles a bit. And then, and then he just sat across the street for quite a while. And then anyway, and then, some construction team comes to like mend the power lines or I don't know what. And then some guy gets hit out front of my house.
God.
On a motorbike, which is what just happened. And I think I had 3 deliveries this morning. So, and my wife is gone. And anyway, so sorry, I'm a few minutes behind this morning, but and a little frazzled. I didn't get to get my bearings and get prepared the way I'd would have liked to. But gosh, yeah, I fell off the wagon a bit with, just like Garrett was saying recently, I think maybe 3-4 weeks ago, he was talking about how he went like 6 weeks without tracking anything. And I think he even said he didn't stack for a while. Anyhow, I realized I need to look at the dates, but I think it's been 3 weeks since I actually used the stack. And here I am trying to share it with my wife and a buddy, an old client of mine, Eric, who's getting into the trial. So anyway, it's funny because I do kind of like what you're saying, where I'll do a lot of writing sometimes, but just in my own way. And I feel like I'm not great at it, but I do think after, it's been all year since the very beginning of January this year since I've been in the shelter, but I had like the old curriculum, the warrior book and stuff since 2017. So just after the reps, I do feel like I kind of stack in my head sometimes, almost. You know what I mean? Have you gotten to that point
where you're just mentally working through it?
Yeah, just like, what's the me story? What's the opposite story? What's the that like kind of turning the stories over in my head. And
I find myself doing that a lot at work.
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing, but also, I haven't been using the tools as much as I should. So anyhow, I think I've just been so swamped with work. Like these last, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I started training my team here in the Philippines, and so 6 days a week I'm here sitting in this office and broadcasting training and recording group calls and stuff. And so I think that's a big part of it. Things are going pretty well. And so I didn't feel like I needed to release the rage very much. But yeah, I'm so busy, endlessly busy, and with the kids. And we got a new puppy a week or 2 ago as well. And anyhow, so yeah, feeling exhausted, but in a good way, at least it keeps me busy, which is good. And I feel like you actually, in a sense, like I just went back to work for the first time after a long break,
right?
This is real work, and I just haven't been doing it for who knows how long. So yeah, it's tiring, but it's been really, I feel good because I know it's helping me get back to, a good place energetically, and just like production wise, really keeping busy and productive and churning out lots of content and getting lots of things done. So it's been training for me as well as my team, and things are going well in business, and for the most part with family. I just need to pay more attention again to my health as well, and my being. I've been slacking a bit, like with my Bible study. So it's funny. It's all the habits that I built for 6 to 9 months at least, very consistently. But once I get busy with work again, I kind of put it to the back burner. Those things. So anyway, it hasn't burnt my life down yet. But yeah, I know there's it's so good to use, especially the stack, right? To process things, even when things are going fairly well. There's still the obstacles and frustrations and setbacks now and then that I'm kind of just I've added them to the list, but the list is just growing. The list of things to stack. So yeah, I'm hoping. So I don't know if you saw any of my call that I did with Eric the other day. I was hoping he may still join us, but I think he's got a kiddo that's refusing to go to bed right now.
Yeah.
So he's in I forget the name of the town, but he's close to Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And I've been doing some coaching with him and a few other guys for like the last 2-3 years, and increasingly encouraging them to check out Warrior since I went all in. So I guess it was after Thanksgiving, right? There was the Black Friday deal that Garrett put on, and it was like $1. So I'm like, dude, if you don't do this,
right.
I wish I could reach over to Texas and smack you. But he's got the book, the original book, and he's like listened to the Daily Fuel, and he's heard me talk a lot about it. I took these guys through some stack training last year when Garrett put out like a free series of videos about it was during like right at the beginning of the Corona lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think he called it actually it's in the audio app. It's called like Rise in Fire or Rise in Fire or Be Crushed by Fear, something like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of shared the mega stack process with them a little bit last year. So he's pretty into it. And yeah, we just did a little onboarding call the other day. He's just getting into his, beginning stages of whatever they call it, basic training in the Wake Up Warrior Challenge. And so I'm actually, I'm looking forward to sharing my experience and hearing all about his as he goes into that and kind of revisit that, and
yeah,
it's always good to go back to the basics. And sometimes I need boot camp all over again. I think I'm at that stage.
I think it'll be exciting for both of you, right? Him getting to go through it and you getting to see just the light bulb go off on for a guy you've been working with.
Yeah. So I mean, I do hope he'll get on this call because I want to share with both of you guys a little bit about what I'm doing business wise here. It sounds like with your new direction or trajectory that you're talking about, there's some overlap, so you might find it interesting. And I know Eric was asking me for lots more details kind of on the personal side of things, but we were saving that for today. Let me, if you don't mind, I think I might give us a little vitamin G. And I was thinking I'm going back to the King's Kit, actually, all the way back to 2018, summer of 2018, when I had my first challenge. And so this was before the Wake Up Warrior Challenge. I think they did. No, I think this was their first like online only training, where it was set up kind of whatever on demand as a course or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And we did get access to the network, the workplace and stuff. But it was like a 30-day challenge to kick it off. And that was transformational. Yeah, I will say the new version, the Wake Up Warrior Challenge that we have today, it goes much deeper and it's much better, organized and all. But it had its roots in this King's Kit, or they called it the King's Challenge, I think. But I've been going back and kind of, like I say, like revisiting the early things. Garrett teaches many of the same principles over and over, but I like seeing the different ways he packages it up, I guess. And especially this time in 2018 was when Jeremy was still around, and I think he's the one who's responsible for a lot of these great like mini movies they make. So let me see if I can pull the screen up again. I'll just play us a 10-minute video, and then maybe that'll give us some inspiration for our talk today. Maybe give Eric a chance to catch up with us too. Let's see. Yeah, so they've got it loaded into the new Armory dashboard, but only for those of us, I think, that signed up back then. So anyhow, I wanted to share this with you guys. I thought this was a good one.
The only way you can help this is to help yourself. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies.
Hey man, I'm not catching audio on this end of it.
Well, what can I say?
I'm just dumb.
You made a decision. But can we be straight about this for a second? Can I not bullshit you because I don't ever believe in it, won't ever do it, you will never get it from me? Here's the reality. You and I both fucking know $100 is not.
You're not hearing any audio?
No, I was being stupid. There was a button I needed to push to have the audio kick in.
Okay, so you got it okay then?
Yeah.
Okay.
going to change your life. So I'm not actually congratulating you for putting $100 down. Do you know why? Because if $100 was enough to actually take your life from broken, and to take your life from a place of boredom, and to take your life from a place of burnout, and to take all that burning and actually light your ass on fire in a productive way, if all it took was $100, fuck, every human being on the planet would be on fire and their lives would be working. But what we're surrounded by is the exact opposite. So what did that $100 do? It actually got you something more valuable. It simply had you raise your hand and say, in this moment, I'm committed. Not to invest my time and my energy and my thoughts and my mouth. I'm going to do it with my money. The $100 was to get your attention. I'll spend more than that just shipping this out to you. So then what am I really after? See, results. Wake Up Warrior is a brotherhood that started over 6 years ago as a movement around the globe. Started with just me and a small group of men. We were after one thing at that time: case studies, results, and inarguable facts that the formula we had uncovered worked, not just for us, but worked for men just like you. But see, no amount of money, and we've proven this, from $100 to $250,000, literally that is the range of what men have paid to learn this science and this game at varying levels. None of it actually has mattered. And what I mean by that is this: the one common thread that must exist on the other side of the money, whether it's 100 or it's 100,000, is this: commitment. Money is relative. A man who makes an incredible amount of money can put $200,000 into something, not even fucking bat an eye, and still not have the magical gift. You can take somebody who's totally broke, maybe that's you, and you put your last $100 in. And that man, you would think, would be highly motivated because he put his $100 in. And if he lacks the thing on the other side, it won't fucking matter. So what is it that takes a man from where he is to the results that he desires inside of a 30-day challenge like you're about to enter? One thing can only: commitment. Ruthless fucking commitment. Commitment of what? Time. This is going to take some time, gentlemen. You're not just going to fucking hand job yourself and call it good. It won't work yet. Unfortunately, there will be some of you who decide that that is what you're going to do. I'm all in, you'll say. I paid $100. Fuck your $100. What I want is your commitment of time. Time every day for the next 30 days to get yourself prepped to live in a different way. Second, a commitment of what? Energy. Any asshole can show up on a live stream training. Anybody can read some shit. But your energy being involved in that is important, and your energy has been what's been missing from most of what you've lived, most of what you've leveraged, and most of what you've experienced as your current legacy. To change all that, we're going to have to change your energy. Your commitment to your energy, your commitment to your time, here inside of the network, here inside of the software, here inside of the live training. To do the homework, to do the assignments, to do the work, and to show up live with us every day and do what is required. Now, if you do that, here's what I can promise you. You will get results. Not maybe, not possibly, guaranteed. You will get results. body, being balanced, business, the have it all lifestyle will become a reality for you. You will become the next man setting himself up to be the next case study movie that we share with the marketplace. Warriors of Belief System. You're about to step into a game that's going to change you forever, because it's going to change what you believe about yourself, what you believe about your body, what you believe about your being, your spirituality and God, what you believe about your marriage and your children, your relationships at home, what you believe about your business and your bank accounts and your money, and we're going to put it all together. Now, regardless of when you came, you're going to face a couple things. You might be starting your King's Challenge pre-training in the next 2 days. You could also be in a situation where you're 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out from the start of your King's Challenge. And here's what I'm telling you. You're not too early and you're not too late. Every month we start this game with a new group of men. We start on a particular day and we start our pre-training on a particular day a week ahead of that. We open a particular window of a series of weeks where men who all come into that gap are bundled together.
I think that's probably good, man. Yeah, I like, this is how they were packaging up some of what I think he calls like the I guess not the 5 laws, but parts of that journey of the Warrior King movie series, the like 7 or 8 short movies. It's a good reminder. I need to, it's like, I realize I've found myself in that spot. It's like I'm making the investment of money. The money's going in.
Yep.
$200 a month or whatever. But that's not going to guarantee that I get anything out of it, right?
Yeah. No, commitment and drive, man. It's a key component.
Yeah, so I've definitely supercharged myself, these last almost a year, 11 months now, I guess, since getting all the tools and being inside, going through the Warrior Challenge and all of that. But yeah, now I'm fine. It's like, so I've got the energy, but I am at the moment mostly. I think back when I started, again this year, with the network and stuff, right? Like I think the biggest, what's the word? Like just the biggest challenge that I was facing that drew me back to get more involved at a deeper level, was probably balance, struggles with my wife and just kind of maintaining order in the family, and around the house and getting our lives together in that sense. And so, yeah, I was definitely focused a bit more in that area for a long time to get it all, working smoothly. And, build some whatever deeper bond with my wife and stuff like that. Let's see if I can switch. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Here. So anyway, I mean, yeah, like in this first year, almost, my relationship with Jam, with my wife, and to a degree, my family-in-law, which is always difficult. We had my mother-in-law was living with us here for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And she's super helpful, and I appreciate her in that sense, but it's hard sleeping in a bedroom next to your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's finally changed, which is a good thing. But anyhow, yeah, it was, predominantly for me, I was focused on balance and just getting all my relationships stronger and getting the family on board. And now, I mean, it's funny. So the other thing is I signed up my wife. I signed her up for the Queen's Journey with this $1 deal, and I don't, we'll see. I don't expect her to go gaga for it like me, especially she really is not. She's definitely a warrior. Like she was born that way, but at the same time,
Right.
she doesn't like the macho stuff and the language like at all. So that's been the hardest thing. But
Yeah.
we'll see like how it appeals to her. But I've been sitting down the last few days and like sharing these videos with the whole family. Well, with my wife and my son. He's 7, almost 8, and so it's just kind of cool. Like I wanted to do the work myself, for all this time up until now. At least get what's the word? Like make it a part of my life and get some results before I try to preach it to others. But
Right.
now I really am at a point where I'm able to share it with them, and especially with my wife. It's really powerful being able to have these conversations about like what warrior is and what I've learned from it and how it's changed. I mean, she sees it, she has seen how I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
But being able to actually like share, well, these are the principles that we kind of, obsess about and try to live by, and etc. So yeah, it's good to get to that stage with her and share it together. And yeah, my son is pretty interested, so hoping to, make kind of boil it down, and share what we've been learning with my kids too. So it's fun, man. It feels good. To finally reach that stage. But yeah, at the same time, business is exploding, which is a good problem to have. Not complaining, but it's just I went from so inactive with the lockdowns for like a year and a half to suddenly having so much to do. So I'm really struggling to adjust to that, but it's really exciting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that growth phase.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, I would love to share a little bit actually about the details of what I'm working on with my team here, if it interests you.
Fire it up, man.
Why don't you start us off though with a little more, how has the growth been for you over like if you were to look back at 2021 and give a general overview of where you started at the beginning of the year and where you are coming up along the holidays here, and yeah, let me know a little bit and share for other brothers who will see this later, what your kind of vision is going into next year.
Hey, man. So I started 2021 coming into January at a real big place of weakness. I'd always been shy and sort of I don't know. I just preferred my own company over the company of anybody else. Internalized all of my thoughts and feelings, and I was able to go from that to into the Warrior Challenge in February, and I was able to overcome the anxiety of taking selfies and actually doing videos for people, which was just an absolute nightmare. But I was able to see myself take that challenge, overcome it, and now I can do stuff like this with you, and it's not even a second thought. It's just a conversation, man. I was able to overcome the anxiety of several forms of anxiety through the challenge. All of it being social, right? But for me, the biggest change looking back over this year. All of it had to do in the domain of being and just my mentality, right? Having to rediscover where I stand, with God, as well as discovering, where I stand with myself, right? I never had a high opinion of myself. I was always my toughest critic. I was, felt I was weak, I was cowardly, and I couldn't overcome that. That was just who I was and how I was going to live, right? Being able to see myself conquer that nonsense and see myself grow, in confidence as a man, in all all domains really. I'm taking ownership of my physicality and my being. My balance is better than it was this time last year, for sure. And my business life was non-existent. I think I said that 3 different times during the Warrior Challenge in those videos they had us do. That I didn't see myself as having a business or any kind of professionality to it. And now I see, business, takes many forms and, many stages, just because I don't have my name, on a building or, a business, with brick and mortar. I do have a business. My business is me. And, if I'm not going to sell myself, nobody else will either. So just, it's just been, I'd never envisioned myself being who I am now a year ago. Honestly, the biggest thing for me is having been able to control the mental demons that were plaguing me, all the negativity, and then being able to just walk into a conversation with somebody I don't know with confidence that, it's going to be okay. They can't actually hurt me. Those two are, they were worth, well worth I think it was, what was it, $100 buy-in for the, Warrior Challenge?
Yeah, when we started, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. So my wife, that's the first thing she remarked on, when she got into like the Queens group, I guess, the Facebook group, and she's like, yeah, there's so many women, doing lives and posting selfies. What? I was like, yeah, we all do that. That's like the initiation,
Yep.
And I mean, I guess I think that's the immediate filter, because some people don't rise to the occasion at all, sadly, But I think from what I've seen, it feels like actually almost 80% of people never post anything, sadly, in the group, about their experience. And maybe they're working through it, but they're just not sharing. But like you say, it seemed weird to me at first too, right? But I think that is so genius to start with that. I mean, he encourages that throughout, even at the deepest levels of Warrior now.
Yeah.
But I do think it's funny because I've been doing, online calls like this at least since since 2012, I suppose, at least. And I don't even know. Just thinking, I was always actually, because I got my camera out the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a few photo shoots, but I've always been a behind the camera guy. But I had done so many trainings and mastermind calls, kind of like what we're doing here over the years. Like I felt comfortable with it, but I think because of some trauma from like 2017, I really did what's the word? Cocoon myself up a bit, in a shell, and so just going through the Wake Up Warrior Challenge really helped me, even though I had a lot of experience over the years with getting my face out there and doing video and even being on stage a couple times, but it definitely got me back in it helped me figure out how to speak publicly about hard things, right? And and then I think that has made it's like it gives you confidence, courage, and so the results for me at least, definitely seeing a lot more production. I'm just like, I'm not getting it out there everywhere, but I'm doing what I can to increase my publishing video content and getting my voice out there, which is good for business. So like now it's kind of taking on a life of its own, but in my business with my teams, in my kind of private circle with clients and stuff. But it definitely lit a fire under my ass, just being forced to do these lives in the Warrior groups,
Yeah.
So as you look ahead, I mean, tell me more about what are you thinking? You said you're hoping in the in Q1 or Q2 next year, you're saying putting together a plan to leave your job and start a business. Is that accurate?
That is the plan. I'd like to I would like, if not leave the job, I would like to be well on my way to at least matching the income my 9 to 5 provides, so that I could throw more time and energy into starting my own business. For a long time, I bought into the excuses I was making for myself. The anxiety I have talking to people and phone calls, video chats, whatever it is. That I could never be in that entrepreneurial place, just because of the mental handicaps I gave myself. I've since realized that those were self-inflicted handicaps, that I can overcome them, and it's not that not that big a deal. Talking to new people, and honestly, this job I have, they gave me the opportunity to travel to a couple other branches this year, and that was a game changing situation as well, because I was coming in, these people didn't know me or my skill level, and I was coming in and teaching people, how to do processes, and having to conduct meetings with all levels of management and leadership at these facilities and stuff. And that was a good practice run for getting out of my comfort zone, and trying to broaden the borders of that comfort zone to where maybe less stuff bothers me all the time. So taking on the skills I was able to learn from stuff like that, I'm currently undergoing training to create what they're calling a digital agency, right? That I'll be working, initially with local businesses, doctors' offices, auto shops, stuff like that, people that offer a service, and helping them either establish or grow their online presence, and help them, do some marketing, maybe. Whoever wanted to pursue it, we could do social media ads, target, trying to get people in through the door for those those brick and mortar businesses. And then from there, I'd like to, that's not an end game, right? That's just that's to get me off the the hamster wheel of the I work 7 to 3:30 in a warehouse. I want to get out of that, and start building some wealth, and start thinking long term. Who's going to remember what I brought to the table as a human being in 2 generations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other side of the content that I love, and I'm happy now to be like sharing with, especially my son, but my wife too. So it kind of gives them some context for understanding the way I think. But definitely, since encountering Warrior, that's one of the big things. It made me think about, like I think it's on the back of the books, right? The 3 stages, like I get, he kind of describes them a few different ways, but it's like be the man. Or the warrior's journey, and then be the king, and then build the kingdom. There's kind of these 3 stages. So just get your shit together first of all, right? Which is kind of where we were probably both starting this year, and then grow into having that mindset of a king, and then you can start building an empire. But like I think that one of the other ways he described it is have it all. What's this, like, fund it all, I think is what he said, and leave it all. But that leave it all stage, like that, the empire, the kingdom, whatever, it's about legacy. It's about hopefully creating something sustainable that will outlast you, and at least in your family, in your spiritual life, in your own scripture, right? With the stack, at least with that you can kind of leave a mark, right? And anyhow, I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest things that I think Warrior has kind of watered the seed in my mind of thinking about legacy and the big picture. And it's powerful, but it's a whole different approach to life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Until I was reflecting on this last year. I think it was Friday. And I hadn't realized the impact that, just incrementally the compound interest I've seen in my life as a man, just from, going into challenge to now. It's easy to just think, God, I'm just as awful as I was just, way back when. But, actually taking a determined look back at, everything that's come down this road so far, I'm really impressed, and sometimes I think I may be just a little too hard on myself. But it's amazing to just take that look back and see the progress that was made, and it's encouraging, man. Especially looking at going into this next phase of my life, not being just an employee, but actually having something something to lose. It's exciting, and I actually think this is something that I can handle versus just hoping for the best.
Yeah, boy, nice. Yeah, dude. I mean, and when I think back, because I think we somehow were connected magically by the universe early on in the challenge, and I remember watching probably most of your videos throughout those 6 weeks, and yeah, I mean, especially now, but I can remember back to the early days, and yeah, just what I mean, you're still the same guy, but your energy is so radically different, and yeah, you're beaming. You can tell you carry yourself entirely differently. I think now. I'm sure, I think the same is true for me as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's really astounding what Garrett and the team have put together here, isn't it? That's why I'm like, I just can't stop encouraging certain people to check it out, So,
right.
I know it's so hard to explain, but you got to just fucking try it, So, I guess one other question for you before I share some of my stuff. But yeah, you said you're taking some training. What are you working on? What kind of training are you going through?
So the introductory part of this, it was similar principles to the stuff they put us through in Warrior, right? So we had the core 4. This one's got the 3 Ps, but it's the same shit, just with a different package, where they encourage you to focus on your physical self, your personal spheres, which is like family and friends and whatnot, and then your professional sphere. And they lay it out in a diagram where it's all concentric circles, and they're all one around another and stuff like that. It was a lot of echoes of the Warrior training in it. And then now I'm getting ready. I actually start this coming up Friday on the business side of it, where they give you they hook you up with a coach, right, who's already in this business. And then they have you go through these training videos, but they show you how to build sales funnels. And if you don't have any web design background, easy and cost-effective ways to get that, contracted out, to where if, the customer you're working with wants a website built, and I couldn't do that because I've never built a website before. I could probably thumb around and figure it out. But if you wanted, to get it done a little quicker, avenues to make that happen. But awesome. It's also, introductory course to using the software. Hey. No,
speak of the wife.
Right. No, it's
just man. She brings me a nice cold brew every day.
It's a nice way to start the day, man. Now, but it's just introductory to I don't have a lot of background working with programs that would be required to make a lot of that stuff happen on the execution side of it. So it's like this is how you you track your income from all these different customers you're looking to bring in. This is how you keep track of what these customers are expecting every month, stuff like that. Because my only background is using my body as a hammer and smashing it into stuff.
Well, that sounds really good, man. What's do you mind sharing what program is it?
I'm going through Entre University. It's done by Jeff Lerner.
Cool. That sounds epic, man. Yeah, it sounds like a really good. Especially, I mean, if you've got kind of a coach who's been there, that's really important. That's useful. So it's funny though, because so okay, you're talking about funnels. This is what I'm teaching my team right now, and so a little background. I actually used to. I don't anymore, but I used to build websites a long, long time ago in another life. I mean, I started probably back in 2001. I mean, before that, just dabbling, personally, but I guess I started professionally creating a little bit of web design work for clients in like 2003, and then I think it was '06 that I like really. I was working full time for a college of business at the time, actually, and so that kind of put me in a, kind of between that and what I was doing online. I was blogging and just connecting with people, online. But it put me in a position where I had access to like some really pretty high grade clients, considering I was like a 21, 22-year-old idiot, at the time. But so yeah, I believe it was 2006. I formally started in '08. No, 2007. I guess it was a year into it. I quit my job. But yeah, so I had all kinds of clients, but I kind of built it on the backbone of having some links with not the bigger ones, but some medium-sized companies like in Silicon Valley, and had a few like Fortune 500 clients and stuff. So yeah, early career, I did a lot of web development and web design, and that was before. Well, that was before we talked about sales funnels in terms of like what you see on the internet. I think that idea of a funnel has been around in big business for a long time, but online sales funnels are much newer. But yeah, have you looked at or used ClickFunnels yet?
Not yet.
But you know of them, obviously, right? I mean, I think
Yeah,
Garrett talks about Russell frequently, right? I got the book right here. My favorite of his books, Expert Secrets. I think I might have shared that with you before. But yeah, that's Russell. I think the first one was .com Secrets. The second one was Expert Secrets, and then I think he did Traffic Secrets. He's got at least 3 or 4. But I think Expert Secrets is amazing. I mean, if you want to brand yourself for whatever reason, if you're trying to build a business, great book.
What was his name again?
Russell Brunson with a B. I could send you. I think they still have like you just pay the shipping, so it's probably like $10 maybe.
Okay.
If you want to get it online, because you can get it on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure he sets it up so that it's like 20 or $25 on Amazon, but it's free plus shipping through his funnel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you're interested, yeah. But so if you know of ClickFunnels and you know of Russell, they have that one funnel away challenge. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Seen it mentioned or anything? Okay. Well, that's like their onboarding. I mean, it's great. It's really great. It sounds marketing because it is. You're learning sales and marketing.
Right.
And Russell is a fucking master. I'm sure the guy with your program is too. But you just watch any of his like stage presentations. He is, a sales genius. And Expert Secrets breaks down like the whole process very, very well. And the thing I love about Russell, knocking the mic. If I could, he's got these great little doodles all throughout the book, and he uses them in their challenge, which is it's great. It's like, teach me like I'm 5. And if you watch the videos, he'll draw it out on the whiteboard, like you're in the classroom. A really good teacher. The guy talks faster than Garrett does, though. So sometimes I slow it down just a little bit for my staff.
Right.
But so yeah, I'd looked into the one funnel away challenge. I think the first time was probably 2018 or 19, and I'd gone through most of it on my own. And I've dabbled with ClickFunnels, but I haven't really ever doubled down. Like, I've built a few little funnels and for a short time here and there, but I never really like built any of my business around it.
Right.
Primarily because I knew that the scale of what you ideally are going to build with this system and the scale of what I feel called to build is so huge that I knew I had to focus on team building first. I can't do all
Right.
this stuff by myself. Um, and so, yeah, thank God the last year and a half, we've managed to pull together a small team here. And I've got a few girls that are going through content specifically with me looking at sales and marketing. And so anyway, so I decided to just start with this one funnel away challenge, which is, it's specific to the ClickFunnels software. But the reason why I love it is it really reaches into all these different areas. It starts with mindset and just the principles like we kind of get with Warrior, and then you get really the latest cutting edge strategies in both sales and marketing that work online. You learn about copywriting, you learn about XYZ, all these different things. So yeah, my team, like I told them, hey, I don't expect all of you guys or even any of you guys necessarily on the team so far. I don't expect you to necessarily end up being like a funnel builder, like they're not necessarily super technically inclined, but I want them to have a really thorough understanding of the big picture and like what it means to take customers on the customer journey. So anyhow, so I've been leading. That's primarily what I've been sharing with my team these last 3-4 weeks, and it's just been really, really good. Starting to have some great conversations and create a lot of ideas for us as a company, but also for each of these girls individually. Like one of them, she makes food products, and she makes like her own homemade soaps and cold pressed coconut oil and different things, skin products, etc.
Wow.
And one of them does a lot of nonprofit work, and she hosts events and etc. And it's so we're going through it, and it's like applying it to what they're doing and trying to figure out how they can take some of these lessons about marketing and storytelling and sales, and not only help me but also utilize it in their own lives. So it's been really good, really, really fun. So at the moment I'm actually I'm with their help trying to kind of craft my own process to seek some more technically oriented folks, to hopefully eventually come on actually as like funnel builders. And I need a video editor and a few different things. But I'm slowly like taking the steps to really methodically build a team here. Philippines is a great place to get like virtual assistants and certain types of web help for like compared to the US, obviously like a very low price. So yeah, I'm kind of at the moment that's where I'm at. We've got the visa business, doing visa consulting. But yeah, going back to my roots, as I said, it's like back in 2001 and 03, 04, etc. I finally thought I don't love the thing. The difference is you used to have to do it the hard way, right? I had to learn some coding, and as much as I like creating things, I do like the front end experience a lot more. I like the graphics, photography, video, that sort of stuff. I'm very creative, but having to sit down and actually code things was the nightmare. So that's why I only really went all in for a few years before I started to branch into other things, and then I just kind of lost interest. I've always done a lot of different kinds of marketing consulting along the way, but I really backed off myself from doing the web development personally several years ago. Again, unless it's my own stuff. But since I'm here, and since I'm getting, I've been teaching guys the hero's journey from like Joseph Campbell, kind of from the old school, more I don't know, academic perspective, I guess. But that's what like Russell takes Joseph Campbell and turns it into the customer journey with this book, And in I think a large way, well, at the very least, like Garrett teaches some of this. I know in the what was it called, the Big Money Marketer masterclass, which I got early on as a bonus. Actually, I paid $500 for it. I didn't get it as a bonus. What am I saying? But I got my hands on that early on. So he teaches similar stuff, but more than anything, like Warrior itself is like a great funnel, like master funnel, right? You see, literally, he's mapped out the customer journey going up these 4 summits. But yeah, in the long term, I'm like, that's a lot of the kind of coaching I've done in recent years personally, is just, teaching guys the hero's journey, how it applies in your life, how to do some of the inner work, but then also how to turn around and lead customers on a customer journey. It's, a framework for both business and personal refinement, I guess. But it's something I've been trying to implement with my wife since 2018, and I've struggled so much because she doesn't want to get into the nitty gritty. God bless her, but so that, it took me a while, but I was like, all right, well, so I'm gonna build a whole team and we'll go through it together, and we'll kind of turn this process into our own, so that hopefully I can simplify it a bit. I can share it with her, and we can slowly but surely work through building this stuff in our visa business, and hopefully gathering a small team that can help us build it in some other business activities I have going on, and then maybe eventually turn around and be like an agency if I find the right talent here. That's kind of the long-term desire. I think, at least locally, we're working with a lot of tourism industry here, which has just been ravaged the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But those few who remain, I do think, the big resorts and things, like now is a good time to start getting out there and selling them on the idea of really, especially in a third world country like this, really up-leveling their marketing to attract the few, travelers that are out there. It's like, you either got to double down or die, like that's the situation they're in. So that's what I'm sharing with my team. It's like, this is, as painful as it has been with tourism pretty much gone, and a lot of things locked down, and many businesses are gone and will never come back these last 18 or so months. The silver lining is, it's an opportunity, for someone to come along and help the few remaining businesses to thrive. So that's my angle at the moment. But let me, if you don't mind, I'll show you a little something I've been tinkering with. So as we go through this One Funnel Away challenge, learning how the sales process works and learning how to put a funnel together. This isn't built on ClickFunnels, but I've just kind of in the very beginning stages putting together like my offer stack and, showing the value, blah, blah, blah. And I just turned around and used it for my onboarding process for my team, because I'm still looking for more people, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of a page, I just wanted to show my staff members who are going through this with me, like, this was the first thing I thought. It's very directly relevant. It's what we're working on. Maybe we could turn around and kind of sell this, quote unquote, to other potential interns and assistants, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basically designing ads and putting this out in a couple local groups, and looking for like young college students or young professionals that are interested to learn sales and marketing and maybe find ways to earn a living online.
Yeah.
And locally for a couple Filipinos kind of in our network, I'm just offering to share this with them. But, going through step by step, following the OFA, I guess they call it, the One Funnel Away challenge process, and then just, hosting our own group calls like 3 days a week where we sit down and actually work through the homework. So
nice.
So I put, just an example for people that come along where I'm sitting down reviewing with a couple of my girls and whatever. So yeah, at the moment I'm like putting this out there, trying to seduce and entice, a few more locals to come join us through this process. And I just used what Russell taught me to put together a little like stack, a Brunson stack, showing all the value and dreaming up all the different things that I can kind of give them. I guess as a mentor at this stage for most of them just starting. But yeah, so I'm essentially also with my buddy in Thailand who runs a nonprofit. I've been trying to work back and forth with him and think this out, but I really want to try to eventually like develop our own curriculum and offer it as kind of a community service here, because that's one thing, especially as a dad of a young half Filipino kid, like I think entrepreneurial education is something that they get very little exposure to, and I believe it's a huge key, to success, especially when you're in a place like this. So anyhow, I'm just offering all this stuff, showing them how much value they get, and trying to entice people to sign up and just fill out an application and see if they want to come into this training program for free for a couple weeks and learn some things. And I'm setting it up as a process so that as they go through, like actually I started training my girls how to use the Discover Stack actually.
Nice.
And so yeah, at the moment my focus really is team building, and this, like, I'm training our staff, but as we go through, also in the process kind of building a curriculum of my own and trying to structure it methodically so that it can potentially become kind of an ongoing internship program, open-ended, in the near future. It isn't even on my I just have it on a personal site right now, just toying around with this. But this is like our little, let me see. This is our actual like work group. My kid out front of the office. But yeah, so I've just been doing like all these live trainings here in the studio with some of our staff, and shifting it largely online, just like what we're doing, because try to make it as easy on these folks to just tune in and learn something a couple days a week. And those that that perform well, like that's the thing, I'm trying to set it up so I can kind of track their progress and see what they're learning and get their feedback, but with my eyes open for the ones that really resonate with this, and the ones that perform well. And so that's where I'm at the moment. It's just trying to get this stuff out there, and got the stages of the OFA in here and just sharing it with my team at the moment, and actually hoping to like share the fact map experience with the team at our annual retreat next year, kind of do some big vision setting together. So anyhow, that's where I'm at, and that's what I've been like. Mostly this is what I've been overloaded with, day by day the last several weeks, but it's going amazingly. It's having some really incredible conversations with the team, and we're all coming up with lots of ideas and starting to like put new offers out there. I mean, we were working on there's one nonprofit here locally that I'm targeting that I want to be a case study, and then there's one buddy of mine that owns a pretty sizable resort who I also want to basically just work for free and get a great case study. But we're kind of like trying to spin up these little mini examples along the way and work on our own team projects. So yeah, we've got a few events that we're putting together and promoting online, and and I guess probably going to turn this into a kind of a free training or a internship program opportunity here locally. So just churning out ideas and tinkering in the sandbox together and trying to spin out some new opportunities and new like seeking the team members to be able to hopefully eventually build a couple new revenue streams. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's been really fun going through this. So anyhow, I'm thinking, yeah, if it interests you down the road, maybe I'll have to get you in here if you want to check out the OFA.
Absolutely, man.
Maybe one day next year down the road, we'll have to at least find ways to team up and work together in some fashion.
Absolutely, man. I dig it.
So yeah, man, keep me, obviously we'll keep doing these calls as frequently as we can, and I look forward to hearing more about what you're learning and how your entrepreneurial journey, I guess, is that
Yeah, man.
how
I
that
can't wait.
starts unfolding. So cool. Well, yeah. Any other last thoughts in other areas, or what else do you have work on your radar for the week ahead? What are your main priorities?
Main priorities this week are, just keeping up with these breathing exercises I got going on, because it's one of those things, you take your foot off the gas and you're right back where you were, hyperventilating and needing to sit down every 30 minutes and stuff like that. So just disciplining myself to just do this naturally. This is just how I breathe now. Trying to get to that place where, that's just how I do it. Which is, it's taken a lot of mental focus, throughout the day, especially at work, whenever my mind's being pulled in 6 different directions at any time. Getting to a place where I'm taking care of myself there. That's priority number 1 for my week, is just making sure that I maintain the discipline, where it's needed there. The other one is just hell or high water. I have been getting up at 4 a.m. every day, and that's when my day starts. So that's the stretch of time I need in the mornings to be able to accomplish, the core 4 stuff before I have to actually leave for work. So it's super important to me that I check all that shit off before I clock in, and start my day off as strong as possible.
That's great, man. That's what I need to be doing, but I'm not.
Today was actually day number 7, that I went, 7 days straight doing it. And, I'm hoping to keep that streak alive going through next week. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I've never been more driven, than I have this last week, man. It's insane, the amount of commitment that I've just pulled out of myself, for so many different, personal projects that I got going on, this Entre Institute stuff, focusing on my breathing, getting up early and hitting, the core 4, really putting a lot of effort into my journaling instead of just highlights of the day, putting a conscious effort into what happened and what can I take away from it. Has been I've been seeing a lot of positives from that these last couple of weeks, and it's something I don't want to take my foot off the gas there either. So no new business going on this week, other than I do start the next leg of that training on Friday, which cool. That's just Friday is just introduction to the coach I'll be working with and stuff. I don't believe the actual learning starts until next week, or the week after rather.
Well, cool, man. I mean, yeah, I hope it. I know you'll get a lot out of it, but yeah, I'm cheering for you from the sidelines, man. I'm excited. I was so psyched, when you said, "Oh man, I'm starting a business."
I know, man. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I am so excited.
It's epic, man. Well, yeah, let's keep doing these calls, man, because I know from 15 years experience, it is a hard road. I mean, I know you know that already. You've been warned, I'm sure, quite a lot, but yeah, let's keep doing these calls and help support each other. And I look forward to seeing your growth, man. Your continued growth.
Yeah.
So, right on, man. What do you think about I'll talk with Eric and Marty and maybe Mike. But if we can get some overlap with the other guys, is this a pretty good time for you, like on Sunday evenings or maybe Saturday evenings, or?
Saturdays would be better, but this is fine too, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna, however late these things run, I'm still gonna get up at 4 o'clock in the morning the next day, so it's not a huge ordeal.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. I'll have to think about it off air because it takes me. The time zones is always hard to figure out. But maybe
Right.
we could swap it again, and we'll figure out a morning for you or something if you're up early. But anyhow, yeah, I think we'll probably change the time again. But we'll try to aim for some relative consistency. But yeah, man, it's great to connect with you. It's been a couple weeks again, but really psyched to have Eric joining us and kind of revisit some of the basics again, and also really, really, really happy, proud for you, man, about like committing to a big impossible game, right, for the year ahead.
For sure.
So, exciting news, man. Yeah, and can't wait to see how it unfolds. The other thing, I'm hoping we'll have Marty join us again soon, and I want to hear how his Warrior Week experience
Right, yeah.
He
I was thinking about
this
the other day too.
Yeah, he sent me a few messages. He sounds like he's at another level. He had a good time.
Good.
But yeah, I'd love to get his story and hear about that with you guys soon. So anyhow, Eric, Marty, if any of you guys tune in, maybe we'll aim for next weekend. But I'll try to touch base with you guys very soon and find a good time where we can all get together soon for a campfire.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, brother. Well, hey, man, keep kicking ass. You're doing pretty well. Keep at it. And, hopefully see you sometime about a week from now.
Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Thanks for your time,
Enjoyed it,
man.
brother.
Thanks for meeting up. Have a great night.
Absolutely, man.
Had a good week.
Bye.
See you, buddy.